Movie lovers, 2026 is going to be stacked with great films. It's going to be a great year for cinema, and I'm going to give you guys my top 10 most anticipated films to my liking that I'm going to give you guys today. I'm going to give you guys my list. Is going to go from 10 to number one most anticipated. Is going to go from superhero movies to sci-fi films to UFO films to there's going to be blockbuster movies that are going to be released the same day, and they're having a whole event like Barbenheimer. Films from legendary directors going to be coming out this year, and then also we're also going to have somewhat a little bit of horror films in there in my list too as well. But this list is going to be a banger list. Animated films too, they're making my list too as well. With franchises that are pretty big too, and some original concepts from legendary directors. And I really can't wait for this year, guys. This year is going to be one of those years that I think a lot of people are going to be talking about when it comes to movies, and I really can't wait. And it kind of keeps cinema alive, which I truly love. This is my most anticipated list, my top 10. So if you guys feel like there's some movies in there that shouldn't be there, or the movies that you think that should be on here, put your comments down below, guys. I really want to hear what your guys' most anticipated film for 2026 is, and I'm very excited to talk about my list. But before we get started, guys, you guys already clicked on this YouTube channel. I know you guys are clicking here back again. Don't forget the like and subscribe button, especially if you like movies, TV shows, and DC and Marvel stuff. I definitely like talking about that. And turn on your notification bells because we love to talk about movies on this channel. All right, guys, my number 10 most anticipated film, it goes to Werewolf, directed by Robert Eggers. He's one of my favorite directors, guys. He has a different kind of tone of the way he tells stories. I've been a fan of him since The Witch. He also did The Lighthouse with Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe. He just did the movie Nosferatu, which I truly liked. It really gave you a different look of what Transylvania looks like, with what Nosferatu looks like. And it also has Lily Rose Depp and Aaron Taylor Johnson. This is gonna be a cool cinematic movie, and I really can't wait to watch this. So I got Werewolf at my number 10 most anticipated film of the year. All right, guys, and for my number 9, I'm gonna put Toy Story 5. This is a pretty stacked list, so I do have it, I'm a number 9, but Toy Story 5, I'm a big fan of, the Toy Story franchise. I grew up watching these films. Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 are probably one of my favorite films that has my favorite trilogy films of all time. And Toy Story 4 was really good too as well. But I don't think they had that same nostalgia punch to it that 1, 2, 3 did, and that's why I'm putting this at my number 5. I know this one that is going to be implementing that kids are leaving their toys and playing with iPads, and I think it's going to be very relatable to the world that we live at today, and that's why I have Toy Story 5 as number 9. Most anticipated film on my list. All right, guys, and for my number 8 film, I'm going to put Supergirl up there. I'm very interested and excited to see what this director has to bring for Supergirl. Supergirl is the second installment of James Gunn's DCU. I really did enjoy the first Superman movie, but somewhat of the tone of it kind of threw me out of what the DC kind of feels in the comic books a little bit, but I am very excited to see what they're going to do with Supergirl. I have at number 8 just because I'm a little bit worrisome on where the direction of DCU is going, but I'm also curious and excited for it. I do like the director. He's the one that did Cruella, did I think it's called I, Tonya with Margot Robbie. So this director, he's a really good director. I just want to see what they're going to do with this. And also, they give us our first look at Lobo that's being played by Jason Momoa, which got fans excited too. So I put Supergirl at my number 8 on my top 10 most anticipated films of 2026. All right, guys, and for my number 7 is going to be Project Hail Mary. This is directed by the guys that did Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse franchise. It starred Ryan Gosling. This is a sci-fi film that is pretty much based off a novel. A lot of early reactions have been calling this a masterpiece. This is a science teacher that gets sent on this mission to save the planet, and he encounters a alien being out there that he actually becomes friends with, as you can see in the trailer that they've already released. And it seems pretty almost like a buddy movie, outer space, very similar to E.T. In its own right, and I'm very excited for this. I love Ryan Gosling. The movie looks great, especially with all this, people already watched it. They're calling it a masterpiece. So I'm going to put Project Hail Mary as my number 7 most anticipated film of 2026. All right, guys, for my number 6, I have Avengers Doomsday. I'm very excited for Avengers Doomsday because they're bringing the Russo brothers back. They're bringing the old X-Men characters back. They've already, showed us of comic book accurate what Cyclops is gonna look like, and with those Dune previews that they showed. Also, Chris Evans is returning. They already had a snippet of that with him and his kid. Thor 2, Thor 2 as well. They had a snippet with that. They also had a snippet with the Wakandans and also with Fantastic Four, and they're bringing back the old X-Men. And there are a lot of rumors coming around with this film. There's a lot of buzz. We also have Robert Downey Jr. coming back, but not doing Iron Man, reprising his role as Iron Man. He's coming back as Doomsday as the big baddie. So I'm very, excited for Doomsday. So I have Doomsday as number 7 on my 2026 most anticipated film. All right, guys, and for my number 5th film, I'm gonna put Spider-Man Brand New Day. This is something that I do have over Doomsday, even though it's in the MCU, just because of the fact that they're going back to kind of the basis of Spider-Man. No one knows who Spider-Man is. All those behind the scene pictures and the behind the scene, video they had with Spider-Man in his brand new suit looks cool as heck. I really can't wait to see what Daniel the director is gonna do with the Spider-Man. They're pretty much starting fresh because no one knew who Spider-Man is. He's gonna be going to college, probably has a new girl. MJ doesn't know who he is. He's gonna be a lot of struggles going with this Spider-Man, more of a grounded feel of Spider-Man with this, and I'm gonna see what Tom Holland has to bring to this new chapter of Spider-Man. That's why it's called Brand New Day. So I'm very excited for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Also with Spider-Man, we do have, the rumors of who Sadie Sinke is going to be playing in this film. No one knows who she's going to be playing, but she is a big actress coming in from Stranger Things. We also have John Bertha as the Punisher coming back. And then we also do have Mark Ruffalo coming back, which we all think is going to be a Hulk. Okay, so I put Spider-Man Brand New Day on my number 5th spot on my 2026 list. All right, guys, I have this pretty up there. Might be a little biased, but I put number 4, DCU's Clayface. This is written by Mike Flanagan. Pretty much this wasn't going to be part of the DCU. They came up with this incredible script, and James Gunn greenlit it. This is going to be a horror-themed Clayface film about a actor that is inspired to be like a star, and pretty much gets beat up by a whole bunch of guys, and he goes and by some burglars or some people that are, they came and try to rob him, and he pretty much goes to this doctor because his face is pretty messed up to the point where he cannot get casted on any movie or a film or anything like that. And he goes to this doctor. This doctor does this brand new procedure on him, and he pretty much turns into the shapeshifter that we know as Clayface. This is described as a horror film. It's going to be R-rated, and I love when DC does films like this, when they go straight to what an vision of the director has a lot to do with it. And I really do like the sound of this entire movie. And also is directed by written by Mike Flanagan, who did the Haunting in Hill House series, which I truly really liked, and I can't really wait for this. So Clayface is going to be my number 5th most anticipated film on my 2025 list. All right, guys, my number 3 film, this is when we get in the nitty gritty, is going to be from legendary director Steven Spielberg. It's going to be Disclosure Day. This film, Disclosure Day, people, I've been talking about it ever since the trailer came out. No one knew what this film was going to be about prior. We all knew that Steven Spielberg was going to do a movie. Then we heard that it was going to be, a UFO sci-fi movie, which got people excited from this legendary director. Then we got that owl poster with the eye over the owl shadow, which I thought it was pretty cool marketing. And then the trailer came out, and it just looks like a cinematic masterpiece right off the bat. Steven Spielberg is a great director. He does not have one bad movie. I really can't wait for this. It's going to be Emily Blunt starring in this film, and I think this is going to be a movie that a lot of people are going to go see, and hopefully it's a home run. You cannot go wrong with Spielberg and sci-fi films, especially about UFOs, and I really can't wait for this, guy. So this is going to be my number 3rd most anticipated film on my 2026 list. All right, guys, my number 2 most anticipated film of 2026, and that goes to Dune 3. I love the Dune movies. Number 2, I liked it way more than 1, and I do think that Dune 2 is going to be one of those films right next to another one that I'm going to be talking about that's going to be a cinematic masterpiece. This is actually going to be coming out the same days as Avengers Doomsday, and it's taking up all the IMAX screens for the first 3 weeks, and it's going to be shot beautiful by Denis Villeneuve, who did the first 2 films. We got Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, we got Florence Pugh, we got Jason Momoa, Josh Brolin. The cast is stacked. We're also adding Robert Pattinson as one of the villains in this film. Cannot go wrong with this, guys. This film is going to be something pretty unique, especially after what Denis Villeneuve did with the first and the second one, and it's going to be just a stunning piece of art to look at in the IMAX theaters, and I'm a sucker for that, and I can't wait, guys. All right, guys, Dune 3 is going to be my second most anticipated film of 2026. All right, guys, my number one most anticipated film of the year, you guys guessed it, is Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Christopher Nolan might be my favorite director of all time, my top three for sure. The Odyssey, the cast is stacked, guys. This cast is one of the most stacked casts that I've seen in such a long time. This is the first film that's completely shot on IMAX film, and it's all shot on location. Where we got glimpses of what the world is gonna look like. All these actors or what their characters are gonna be. We had a teaser trailer which showed us a decent amount of stuff. We had the Cyclops character pop up in the trailer, and it's gonna be a cinematic masterpiece. Christopher Nolan, when it comes to film, you already know you're gonna get a cinematic masterpiece, all shot on location. They even made the Cyclops practical. This follows Odysseus after the Battle of Troy, and he's trying to get back to his back home, and you follow the journey of that time, him going back home while his wife is back home, and holding down the fort, as what they say. So the Odyssey is gonna be my 2026 most anticipated film, just because it's Christopher Nolan, the cast, everyone their moms is in this film. I'll just put the picture of everyone that's in it, but because it's a long film, guys. But yeah, guys, that is my list of my 2026 most anticipated films. Let me know what your guys' list is. Put them down below. Let me know what you guys think that should have made my list, shouldn't have not been on my list. But yeah, guys, that is it for your boy CeeLos. I will see you guys next time. Take care.